I think it's very telling that I am probably going to call this the best episode of Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 so far. And yet, under any other circumstances, I would call it a middling bit of filler. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Episode 3! That is, yeah. Like, it's fine. I kind of feel like I could end the review right there. It's fine. Part of me wants to say that it's juggling too many plots, except I'm not sure that's true given that what it's actually doing, which is to tie up a couple things and move a few subplots. Like this is an episode made up of moving forward or tying off subplots. We are tying off the subplot of Mbega and his whole past and the fact that he assassinated a Klingon. We're going to tie off that loose end. We are moving forward the stuff with Marie because we're saying that no, she's not actually fully cured yet. We are going to move forward the sort of trauma and how that's affecting Ortegas, and any one of these are all subplots. So this is a collection of subplots, which is why the primary plot is so freaking generic and they couldn't come up with something better than zombies. Because if they come up with anything more compelling, I'd be annoyed at how many subplots are eating up time. But I'm not, because the main thrust of what they came up with was just freaking zombies. It's just zombies. It's actually more disappointing for the fact that they just behave exactly like zombies, given that they're reanimated by moss. They should, and I don't even care about the looks. Like, I understand that these are just a throwaway creature. I don't need you to come up with a new, unique makeup design for them. But stabbing them in the head shouldn't work. Like, that works on traditional zombies because, the old thing, you destroy the brain. Like, if they're reanimated by moss, why does the brain matter? Should that still work? Should something else work? Who knows? Who cares? They're just zombies. And I know they try and make a joke out of well, can we call them zombies? Like, okay, you're just hanging a lampshade and that's not helping. Of these plots that they are doing, the one that is by far the most interesting to me was the circling back around of the stuff with Mbega and that this Klingon wants to kill him because he killed his father. And it's a really interesting twist that it's not for the automatic reason you'd assume, revenge. Like, no, I was supposed to kill him because that's how my family was going to restore honor. Now, the only way I can do that is to kill the person who killed him. Like, that is kind of an interesting, slightly more complicated look at this kind of thing, and that feels very informed by how highly Klingons prize honor. And that was interesting, but all it really is functionally is an explanation for why there's a knife fight at the end. That's the only purpose it serves. Her crewmates are fodder, and it just gives a different action beat other than the zombies at the end. This could have been a bigger thing. If any one of these subplots was going to become the new actual A plot, it should have been that. It honestly should have been about her hunting down Mbega, and we think it's for revenge, but it's not. And also the resolution just felt real cheap. He's gonna do that thing where he beats her, but he won't kill her, which I understand that Mbega's trying to be, someone who isn't a killer anymore. I do get that. But at the same time, from her perspective, dude, what you did was more disrespectful than killing her. It was worse. I know that from your perspective and your values, you are doing the nicer thing. But this is a person from a species with a completely different set of values, and you just did something way worse. I feel like that's something that Star Trek at its best will deal with, that different cultures actually have fundamentally different values. But the thing that Star Trek has always kind of tripped over is an assumption that the values of the Federation, which are human and more specifically American values, or at least purported values, that those are somehow, the default and or superior in the things other people should be following. But like, it'd be really interesting if this took the time to delve into the fact that he was, from her cultural perspective, he was way crueler to her than if he just killed her. Because he put his cultural values over hers. And his cultural values and what he's trying to be within his culture is not a killer, but from her perspective, that was the worst thing he could have done to her. And I would have loved something to explore that. But it doesn't. Now, I was going to say it doesn't have the time. Honestly, it doesn't have the inclination. I don't think this is a story that wanted to do that anyways. So, Ortegas, I feel like they have decided that the answer to a complaint that I have heard people make in the past, which is Ortegas is lacking in a personality defined by much of anything other than she flies the ship. And they have apparently decided that the way to combat that criticism is by giving her trauma. Yeah. It's fine. I don't like it, but like, it's not awful. It's not egregious. Doesn't interest me. I don't like, especially considering we have a completely separate character dealing with lingering physical and emotional trauma from the Gorn. Do we also need to be exploring it with giving our pilot PTSD as well? And again, like, I'm not saying PTSD stories are invalid or that it doesn't make sense that she has trauma. It's just that, like, it feels very tacked on to her just to give her something to do other than fly the ship. So that was, yeah. And then the stuff with, is her name Marie? I want to say it's Marie. Whatever Pike's love interest's name is, I don't know. Man, it has not adhered to my brain at all. And here was the part that I found really interesting. And again, they brushed right up against something that I'm like, oh, you could legit make the episode like all about that and potentially have something interesting, but they just don't. Which is this idea of how many people knew what was going to happen, this hybridization of her with the Gorn, and that she was volunteering for this because she felt it was her best option, but it was something Pike would never okay or sign off on. But the thing is, dude, it's not your body. It's hers. And while I'm not going to say she has the right to endanger crew with sending them on this kind of mission, but at the same time, if they are willing to do that and you are willing to also put them in danger, but for the fact that you didn't know what this was going to do to her if it worked, I feel like that, like, they're right on the cusp of addressing the idea that he has this possessiveness of her. And that really could have been like a way of addressing why they kind of fell apart before, or just like the general notion that he thinks he's entitled to have a say over her body at all. And like, it's not in a malicious way. I'm not trying to paint Pike as like, the worst guy ever, like, who thinks women are objects, but by default, he thinks he has a say, and she knows he thinks he has a say, and that's why she didn't tell him. Like, that's really interesting, and that's a really interesting layered way to look at a character and this kind of possessiveness of masculinity that frequently happens, even, with people who think they are beyond patriarchy or hierarchical structures like that. This kind of stuff still pops up, and I believe that it can still pop up within the Federation, and it's like it's there, but it's at the end, and so we don't really have time to make a bigger thing out of it, and again, to explore that idea. That's the idea that I think if they'd had more time, they might have actually explored a little bit more, as opposed to the stuff I said before, which I would have liked, but they probably never had any interest in doing. So, there's decent stuff here. It is underserved by sharing space with as many subplots as it is, and the A-plot just being frickin' zombies. Who cares? Like, seriously, who cares? Is there anybody who, like, gets a smile on their face when zombies show up in a show that doesn't have zombies as part of its standard episode pitch? Does that excite anybody? I mean, maybe I'm out of touch, but like for me, it's like, oh, okay. You really couldn't think of anything else this episode. All right, fine, whatever. So, yeah. It's not great. Still probably the best episode of the season so far, which again, that is damning with faint praise. Strange New Worlds. Episode 3. What did you think about this one? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon pays the bills, enables me to do this as my living, even if you can't help me out that way. Like, share, subscribe. Those all help. Don't worry too much about it, though. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you can just come on back next time you need a break. And now to thank my highest supporting patrons. Robin Moore, Jared Boyce, Zubin Fulla, Auntie Kate 808, Mira G, Angry Casperl, Dave Hall, Movie Turtle, Oliver B, Sean Miller, Welsh Wrestling Geeks, Melissa Pedersen, Mary Mello, Becky Sparks, Loki Eris, Tracy Scrabbit, Pal Barabajoggle, and Sir Didymus is my favorite. Don't worry, the rats are all fine, but my rat wrangler is not here right now, and I thought we could have Archie say hi. Or not.